They're calling you a radical. So 70, 80 years ago today, Pearl Harbor. So when I was a kid, before they built all those houses on that keep falling down and they rebuild them, you could see the cannons lined up there. You know, World War II, World War II. So this whole nuclear insanity, that's started 80 years ago today, you know. And so the Manhattan Project, Einstein said at the end of his life, the biggest mistake I ever made was writing that letter. Hitler never had it, wasn't even close. But his friend talked him into it, spent 3 days in Long Island convincing him, and he says, I knew better. So the United States opened up the Manhattan Project, the spigot, the nuclear energy crime. It passed what we call Price-Anderson, the Immunity Act, where they all know it. These people all know it. The Bezos, the Gates, the Musk, the NuScale has changed its name from NuScale to Voyager. Make it so. They've been sitting around watching StarCraft. Well, it's free money. They all know it. Little SMR propaganda everywhere. And I see there's all kinds of people. This singer, she's out from Canada saying we need to keep from Canada, Diablo Canyon open. Where are you going to put the wastes? You know? So the Senate Opry, Mike Levin, I'll be talking to him on Friday, Oceanside. So the NRC has kicked the can again. They had to make the decision on the Holtec canister pad in Texas, in Carlsbad, not California, Carlsbad, New Mexico, from Carlsbad to Carlsbad. I saw, you know, oh, the oyster farm of Carlsbad, we're going to move all the recycled cages here and raise oysters in Mission Bay. I talked to the water quality right there yesterday. And I'm like, well, he's out there with a stick. What's the water quality today? And he goes, I says, I know what that means. We used to have sirens all the way up through here. The Coast Guard would come through here and just run people out of here. They tore them down. And it says, we got a website. And the water quality is so horrific here. I mean, we're going to raise oysters now. They're going to filter it. Yeah, go eat the oysters. You know, it's like, we can't talk about, like cancer. We can't talk about the causation. We're just going to run for the cure. Here at Angry Yoga Park, doing my yoga this morning. So, the madness started 80 years ago today. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Fukushima, TikTok, Diablo Canyon, clock. We've got the nuclear waste out of the spent fuel pools of Sinanoff into the dry cast containers, and any fool who tells you that that's not a major accomplishment doesn't know what they're talking about. The dry canisters compared to the spent fuel pools is a billion times safer. It's not the final solution. I'll get it moved. It'll be Kevin Blanch that gets it moved. Just like I'm the guy that got it shut down. The rest of these NGOs, greenwashing machines, that's exactly what they are. I'm the activist that accomplishes. Oh boy, do I. And I'm a fool to do your dirty work. So, the madness started 80 years ago today, and so then Russia's like, oh, you don't think we have it? You're going to flex on us? In Japan? Zarbamba. Whoa. Andrei Sakharov won a real Nobel Prize. TikTok. Diablo Canyon. Everybody propaganda all of them cleared. Jennifer Graham home. Yeah, we need to keep it open. California said, no. California's producing 200% more solar a day than they can use. That's right. It's being blocked into the grid by states like Nevada and Utah. Well, by the way, in Utah, someone says, oh, 280. I says, you're wrong. 310 days of sunlight a day in Utah. Nevada is even more than that. The whole western United States, even before the great coincidence decade, 2011, the heat bubble of the western night, the sun shines all day. We have a grid. We have a grid. What's the answer? Sun. It's real simple. I mean, the whole western United States is a giant freaking desert. Solar panels at the click of what? The speed of light. Solar energy in New York City from here, from coast to coast, at the speed of light. Einstein. Biggest mistake I ever made, he said at the end of his life. And remember, Einstein was a hardcore peace activist. He was a Quaker. You know, and He was an anti-nuker, hardcore, just like Sokolov. You know, Oppenheimer used to go back and forth, but anybody that had anything to do with it, they knew. I will quote Einstein, 1953, before Price Anderson. Fermi died right over there. La Jolla? Whoa, stay away from that place. Scripps? yeah, if Scripps are freaking oceanographers and marine biologists, I'm a rainbow striped zebra. I'm a fisherman with a boat. I'm a surfers who can't surf, skiers who can't ski, environmentalists that just raise money. We live in a greenwashing machine. Propaganda, the Immunity Act, they don't have to pay it back. Hell of a way to boil a Pacific Ocean. It's all coincidence, everything collapsed. That's all, it's just all coincidence. It collapsed in 2012. Tide pools? Oh yeah. But, just like cancer, we're gonna run for the shore. We'll not talk about the tide. 80 years ago today. I'm telling you, I haven't had a big quake here in a long time. I was here when the hurricane hit and tore the freaking pier in two. TikTok, Diablo Canyon. 40 years of spent fuel in swimming pools at Diablo stacked up. They could only handle maybe a 7.5. We're due. We're way overdue. And I want to say this when it happens, and we're evacuating Los Angeles, and they'll tell you to hunker down, but people, it won't work like it has in Japan because the United States has control. Well, the imperialists have control. People will have Geiger counters out. By the way, how are you going to measure the coast with a Geiger counter when this has never happened before? Plutonium. Oh, blown out meltdowns right there. 6,500 miles away. I want to ask all of you pro-nukers for basic fundamental physics 101 is for every action, there's a reaction. Einstein. So you're telling me, first time in history, didn't happen in Mayak, didn't happen in Chernobyl, didn't happen at 3 Mile Island, didn't even happen at Santa Susana. 3 full core meltdowns pushed into the Pacific Ocean for nearly 4,000 days. And you're telling me there's no reaction to that. Talk about insanity. The greatest mental illness in history. Hypnotized. Orwell couldn't dream it up. 2 plus 2 is 5 or 8 or 12 or 13 or 3 11s. It's whatever we tell you. Mission Bay. Toxic. Stay out of the water, I'm here to tell you. We have a desal plant right up there. 20% of your drinking water, your bathing water, your beer water, your cooking water, San Diego County comes from the sea. Starfish can't live in it. Salmon can't live in it. Nothing can live in it. It's toxic, but you can drink it, not me. Stan Turner. 80 years ago today, the madness started.